All right. Should be live. Should be all good to go right now. Now I do have to update my tennis lines really fast. So give me a moment, but that'll give us time to get people in here. That'll give us time to ask questions or set things up for the stream. I should be done with this in like a few minutes. Just give me a short moment here. Let's see. Just gotta upload this stuff really quick. Or I actually gotta rerun stuff. But that should be pretty easy to do quickly. I was hoping I didn't have to do it during the stream, but the slate starts in half an hour. And I need to get this out of the way, so I apologize. And Sheets just uploaded his projections and stuff, so I want to go ahead and rerun with that type of stuff. I don't think that was right. What's going on here? What the hell? Hold on. Okay, well this is a horrific start to the stream. I do apologize. Why is this not uploading here? Oh, it's because I'm a dumbass. That's why. All right, let's try this again. Yep, I was uploading the wrong CSV file. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Let me get this running, and then we could. And I apologize for this here. Jeez Louise. What a freaking disaster. Speaking of tennis, I almost took down the GPP yesterday. I got passed late in the slate for first, ended up tying for third. It was two people tied for first, me and another guy tied for third and stuff. So that was pretty cool. All right, whatever. We'll let that run. Now I can talk truck series and I can update this. So when we're looking at this truck series race, and I'm not going to show my screen at the moment because I'm still doing stuff for tennis really fast. So I apologize for that. As soon as this is done, I will upload it. But when we look at this truck series, and yeah, PvP and Andrew, thank you. I have been. This has been a pretty wild weekend, or just week in general and stuff. I already have several tickets for the NFL season. I already have 333 tickets with the tennis stuff and everything. I mean, it's been pretty incredible. When we're looking at the Truck Series slate for this race here, um, we have 32 cars at a track that's super difficult and stuff, and we're most likely going to have the Reum trucks at least start and park or not do anything, so that lowers the field even more, right? When we're looking at the grid here, sure we might have some people you might argue overqualified, somebody like Gio or potentially like Garcia, Mosick, and stuff like that. But for the most part, for what I'm finding here is I'm playing a pretty tight uh, pool in terms of guys up top in terms of and in terms of the value, mainly because your main lap leaders are most likely going to be either or both of these two, Lane Riggs and Corey Heim. Obviously, Corey Heim due to everything that he's at, and then at the bottom of the salary and stuff, there's really only like three people you could really consider playing um, at the value range, and that's Jack Wood, that's Nathan Beard, that's Andres and stuff. But like we really can't use anybody in the 5K range, really outside of Nathan or Timmy if you're at that range. And so we're we're at a crossroads to where if you're paying up, obviously for Corey Heim or whatever. A lot of ownership there, then a lot of ownership at the bottom of the value range, because that's where all lineups are going to. Whereas like the middle is completely wide open today, and I have ownership spread out uh, to a lot of different drivers here. I'm waiting for this to finish updating here. Let me see. Is this stupid thing done with? It sure looks like it. All right, download that. Let me update this, and then I'll be done with tennis. There we go. Nope, I still. What in the hell is going on with Google? Why? What the fuck is going on here? Okay, hold on. It's because I'm not doing the standard. See, okay, whatever. Hold on. Let me at least update this on the DraftKings site, and then I'll fuck with this in a minute. Okay. Let me restart this. It's mainly because I'm dicking around with some other stuff. Hold on. All right, let me upload this. Let me upload that. Let me get this. Okay, whatever. Now we're here. To J. Sorry, hold on. All right, finally get that done. Sorry. Where were we for that? Also, since we have a second slate later today, obviously Cup's queuing right now. And what the fuck is going on here? Edit. Okay, finally got all that done. Let me put this stuff on screen now. Since we have another slate earlier, as you can see, I already have the screen, or not the screen, the stream for the Xfinity race set up for I think 3:30 my time or something like that. That's just subject to change whenever we get the grid and whenever I get my stuff done. It's a road course, so it should be pretty easy to project for and stuff. And then I got to be somewhere later tonight. So I'll probably just be in a completely different outfit. I'll probably be shaved and everything by then. But regarding tomorrow's stream, I got to be somewhere in the morning, so I can either record a video or do a live stream at 6 a.m. or I'll end up doing a live stream before the Southern 500 tomorrow, later in the afternoon when I get back. If you guys have any opinions on what you would prefer, do let me know between either this stream and the other one today. But that's what I'm dealing with, just in terms of time and everything today. When we look at the practice laps and everything, I mean, obviously, I'm not too worried about it. Everybody should fall in line. Obviously, the faster cars up front, slower cars in the back, whatever, right? When we look at the amount of laps that people ran, the fact that we see Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Smith, Infinger, Majeski, Caden Honeycutt, Corey Day, all the guys that are going to be expected to run well are running long. Okay, it's concerning if you have somebody that didn't just stay out and have the car out the whole time in practice. And even with Corey Heim going that long, he still has the obviously the fifth best average speed. We look back at where he's been at intermediates this year. It's been Corey Heim. Now, when we did look at intermediates, or when you do look at intermediates this year, you have seen people like Lane Riggs get laps led, or lead. Same thing with Enfinger, same thing with Ty Majeski and stuff. But going back to this grid, or this race here and stuff, when we look at where the field is, like, we're not playing, Mussolini, we're not playing Clayton, we're not really playing Caleb, so we can remove them, right? We're most likely not playing Mason. Um, it gets to a point to where, where these guys are priced at, it's going to be difficult for them to hit like a value range. Okay, and so like, get rid of Parsons as well. You could most likely get rid of Tony as well, right? So we start like cutting through who projects bad, and who isn't at the forefront of probably scoring well today. And this is the field that we have right now. Obviously, as I said, if you're playing, Corey Hyman, Lane Riggs, or even just Corey, or even just Lane Riggs and stuff, we're going to be pretty tight on salary here, since we don't really have a bottom of a value here. And so, who are the people that are um, looking to be some of the higher projected guys outside of your lap leaders in terms of the DraftKings points that they can score? And this is gonna, very much follow where builds are going, where ownership's going, and stuff like that. Just on a baseline, not in terms of real upside, but just at a base floor, it's most likely Ben Rhodes and Crafton being your um, guys who would have a much higher floor than other people. Past that, it's people who are, right in the mid-teens, that have cars that are very much able to finish top 10. And who are those individual drivers? Those are people like Corey Day. Those are people like Trevor Bate in a Tricon car. People like Jake Garcia, Connor Mosick, Tanner Gray, Raja Caruth. And so what I'm doing in this slate, as I said, I'm very, heavy. I think I have 80% Corey Heim right now. And I'll even tell you how much Lane Riggs I have. If you want to see the rest of my exposures, I already did put them in the Discord. But right now I got 45% Lane Riggs and 80% Corey Heim. Obviously, some of those are overlapping with them together. Some of them aren't. But really, past that, I mean, I'm pretty spread out on ownership of just trying to get unique. One thing that I was running into issues with, and yet again, I hand build and look through, different lines and stuff. I was running into a lot of duplications on my own. Like, I'd build a line and I go back and be like, okay, yeah, I've already built that. And especially once I got through like 15, once I like eclipsed like 15 lineups made, I started running into issues of like, lineups that would be duplicated and stuff like that. And so um, I would be paying attention to that today, because I think there's a chance that we're going to have a lot of lineups, or at least lineups that are going to be duplicated. Now, we do have the benefit of having a much smaller field today. Obviously, the main 10 already filled. We have the secondary 10 and stuff, and we're really not going to get anything better than that for really anything. I mean, I guess the 4 isn't filled yet. I would envision maybe something similar for the Xfinity series. I don't. Well, yeah, that one should fill. Well, I don't know. We're gonna get the starting grid for Xfinity super late, but 5,882 lineups for trucks. I think there's realistic chances that you see lineups that have 17 people play it, 15 play it, 8 play it, 25 play it, and stuff. So maybe not like gigantic trains, but still enough to be aware of. And so once I saw that today, and yet again, I'm just following what my projections are showing. Once I discover that, like, hey, I think duplications might very much be in play. That's where I started playing, Nathan to get different from Jack Wood. That's when I started playing Timmy Hill to get different from Jack Wood. That's when I started playing Connor Mozak to get different from potentially Bailey Curry or the 6K guys here, or Andres. That's when I started playing Giovanni starting 6 to just get different. That's when I started playing Jake Garcia instead of Trevor Bain or Corey Day, like just trying to get different builds and stuff here and there. I have one lineup with Chandler Smith, one lineup with Enfinger, so obviously that would indicate very little interest in Chandler Smith and Enfinger and stuff. But I like Lane Riggs. I like Corey Heim. I think one of these two individual drivers will win it. When we look at these two side by side, I think Lane Riggs obviously has the advantage of starting up front. We see at Darlington. Also, we might have, we look back at Truck Series races, and sometimes we have a big wreck or whatever out of two, but I mean, I think these lower guys are just not going to be there. I think the Reunion trucks legit start and park. Like, there's no reason to tear their shit up here. I mean, Steven didn't even run a practice lap, right? Um, so realistically, there might be like 27 people on the track at the end of like stage two or at the end of stage one, right? And so, what does that do? If we're not racing side by side outside of the restarts, now we have had like, I mean, we've had big ass crashes here at Darlington for the Truck Series, right? Either on restarts or but um like I think there's going to be a part in this race where we just have 27, 26, 25 trucks on the track. Like, not even racing laps, that like just that's the field. Okay? And so if that happens, people spread out. Stage 3 might just go green. I think there's a real chance we get long runs in this race. I think that's kind of why I have so much interest in Lane Riggs more than I mean, I told you the ownership that or my exposure that I have to him, but I I kind of like Lane Riggs to potentially hold on and lead quite a lot of laps today, especially because he's starting first. Um, when I look at this grid here, like, I think Lane Riggs is going to clear the field, out of two. He'll be by himself, and then Corey Haim and Chandler Smith will be side by side most likely. And so I think Lane Riggs has like a real path to like lead the first 17 laps. Um, Scrape up some fast laps and be there. And I think he's going to have a pretty decent raw points day and stuff. But that's kind of my view on the Truck Series race. I'll see what you guys are saying, if there's anything that you want me to look at and stuff. Let's see here. My bedroom background. No, for real. Well, I'll remain in this. I'll keep my stuff here because I have my computer, my TVs, all my other stuff. Everything else in the apartment I've already packed up, and I'll be moving that stuff to the house. I got a new dining room table and chairs yesterday, um, and everything. So I mean, we're just slowly getting stuff in that, or not even slowly. My partner and my partner should be moved in um, completely probably by the first or second weekend in September. And I'm trying to do everything during this week and before the Thursday night football game and stuff. Because when that comes around, like, I'm unavailable Monday, Thursday, and the weekends and stuff. People love the booby skateboard, man. I think we gotta keep that. Round 6 before the race sounds good. Okay, so that's a vote for tomorrow, having a stream before. The only thing is I'm not gonna be home really from tomorrow morning until probably like 3 in the afternoon. I'm gonna get the projections done tonight, but I don't know how long the stream will be if it's late, because it might be right up until the green flag, for Darlington tomorrow and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I think that's kinda those are kinda my opinions. Past, obviously, guys up top value. Probably my favorite play on the slate, um, today is probably Trevor Bayne, just due to his price tag, the fact that he's in a Tricon car starting 16th, $7,400. Um, Real chances that Caden doesn't really move up or down anywhere. Same thing with Hemrick, Majeski. These guys are very expensive. Obviously they're needing 50, 40 points. It's going to be hard to do from that. I think the 7K guys are all in play today, and I kind of want to get as many 7K guys in my lineups as possible. But I like I like Trevor Bayne today. Um, Past that, that's my view on the Truck Series race. I see it. Everything's filled out, and whatever. Um, I don't really have anything else to say. I don't think. Let's see. I think that's mainly it. I'll do all the selling for TrueDFS probably in the next stream, so we don't have to do that today or on this one here. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Truck Series. Best of luck, guys, and yeah, see you in a couple hours. Bye bye.